Yo, what's going on, guys? Mush back at it with another video. Want to give you guys a heads up on a historic low Steam game deal that I actually think is quite good. I know we're coming off the winter sale. We're not getting Detroit Become Human for $3.99. In fact, if you want to buy Detroit, you'll have to pay $7.99 now, even if it is on sale. But, you know, the deals aren't quite as good. However, I'm telling you guys, give it a couple more weeks. Like, right now, it's a little bit of a lull. February, March rolls around, we'll be cooking with gas, as the kids like to say. So, yeah, but there are some deals available right now that I'll highlight, some historic lows, deals under $2, so on and so forth. So we'll highlight that. There's also two new sales, or events, however you want to call them. There's the Swedish Smorgasbord co-op sale, and then there's also the Toge Production 17th anniversary sale. So we'll talk that at the end of this video. But first of all, GreedFall is 90% off for $3.49, and the Gold Edition is 85% off for $5.99. I think both of these are pretty good deals. The thing is, GreedFall is one of those games that I think at this price point, it's great. It's done by Spiders, a studio that's done a few RPGs. They did Technomancer. They're actually doing a sequel to GreedFall, GreedFall 2: The Dying World. And the thing about their games is, like, you kind of know that you're getting into a game that's gonna have a bit of jank to it, that it's gonna be fairly rough around the edges, but I would also argue that the Spiders games have been consistently getting better and better with each outing, and I thought GreedFall was a legit pretty good game. Now, when it comes to a game like this, yes, the price point's really good. Is it really worth your time? That is a question that ultimately you can answer. Some people find the charm and an enjoyment out of playing like mid-level RPGs, but if you were to compare GreedFall to the top-level RPGs out there, if you were to compare it to like Witcher 3 or, you know, a lot of the other games that have come out in recent memory, GreedFall's not going to be at that level, but I remember really liking it from a mechanic standpoint. I like the setting of the game. Like, visually, it's pretty decent. It's a double-A game through and through, but a pretty good one regardless, and I would say for $3.49, it's a pretty damn good pickup. So check that out. That is a historic low price point on that. Then we also have a space for the Unbound. It is 50% off for $9.99. This is a historic low on this game as well, and I've gone to bat for this game a few times. This is a tremendous narrative-driven game with some fantastic writing, fantastic characters. However, this game is one title that's definitely going to hit you in the feels, as people would like to say. So, you know, I would say emotionally be in the right place to play a game like this. I always don't recommend getting into games that are really trying to cook you from an emotional standpoint, like just going into them blind in the sense of, oh, this game looks pretty cute from a visual standpoint, let me go check it out. No, I think you mentally need to be in the right place because, yeah, I just don't think, like, could you imagine going through a brutal breakup and then being like, oh, I want to play some games to get my mind off of everything, and you go and play a space for the Unbound? Maybe for some people it would work really well as like a coping mechanism, but I don't know. I just don't think that's the best way to go about it. But nevertheless, if you're looking for a game to tug at the emotional heartstrings, I feel like a space for the Unbound is a great one. Again, I think the writing is great. I think the characters are super likable, and the pixel graphics look, in context with a game like this, I feel like works rather well. So, 50% off for $9.99, I think that's a pretty good pickup. Next up, we've got Golf with Your Friends, 90% off for $1.49. This is one of those games that's fairly popular, $1.49, and yeah, you can go golf with your friends. You know, not really my cup of tea, but you've got 12-player multiplayer. Make sure your skills are up to scratch as you tee off against 11 other golfers in simultaneous online multiplayer. Themed courses go head-to-head on courses with unique mechanics and holes. Become a pro in the pirate course, aim for the albatross in the ancient theme, or wage all-out worm warfare in the worms course. Power-ups: drive a wedge between your friends as you trap their ball in honey, freeze it, or turn it into a cube, and 3 game modes as well. All of that available for $1.49. Check that out in Golf with Your Friends. Next up, we do have Heavy Rain, which is 90% off for $1.99. I really dug Heavy Rain, and, you know, for a while it was my favorite Quantic Dreams title. Probably relative to when this game came out, it's still my favorite Quantic Dream title. What I'm saying is, like, Heavy Rain's a game that shows its age, and that's really the reality with Quantic Dream titles in general, that they're going to show their age. Not fairly quickly, but I just feel like that's more of a glaring aspect to their games. But Heavy Rain I really did enjoy, obviously. Jason has been immortalized and is one of the most iconic moments in gaming history, so obviously I think you should check out the game just to know where that came from. It's kind of like Objection. Everybody should know where Objection came from just because the games are great as well, so nevertheless, worthwhile to check that out. Heavy Rain, 90% off for $1.99. Pretty good pickup there. Definitely check that out if you're into your narrative-driven titles. LA Noire, 70% off for $5.99. Another great game for those of you looking for a narrative-driven title. I remember when I played LA Noire back when it initially came out in 2011, I want to say it was, being absolutely blown away by the game. Like, the facial animations and the visuals of this game were jaw-dropping. Obviously, it doesn't hold up as well when you look at it from the context of, games in 2026, but I still think it's a worthwhile game to go through. I thought the setting was great. I thought the story was pretty good, and again, this is my recollection based on not having played the game in quite a while, but yeah, $5.99 on that, I think is pretty darn good. So those are the deals that I did want to go over, but I also do want to mention the Swedish Smorgasbord co-op sale that is running right now. Tons of deals available as a part of this, including Warhammer 40k Darktide at $9.99. You got Warhammer End Times Vermintide at $2.09. Vermintide 2 at $5.99. Payday 3 is at $15. Payday 2 is at $4.99. Payday 2 should be cheaper, and it definitely has been cheaper. You've got GTFO at $13.59, which is a pretty good deal, and they are promoting Den of Wolves, coming from the creator of Payday the Heist, Payday 2, and GTFO. So there is that. You can check out those. And then, like I mentioned at the top, Toge Productions 17th anniversary sale. Space from the Unbound is one of the titles that's on sale as a part of this, but you've also got Letters from the Past Undusted, 20% off for $7.99. Whisper Mountain Outbreak, 20% off for $6.39. You've got Coffee Talk and Coffee Talk 2 both discounted. Those are really well received. Coffee Talk Tokyo comes out in March of this year, so you can look forward to that, and a couple of other games highlighted as well. But those are the two sales that are running right now. Again, it's a little bit more of a quiet period as we still are coming down from the winter sale. It's only been, what, a week and a half removed from the winter sale? Though, like, the winter sale ended on January the 5th or something like that. So, the winter sale is still very, very fresh. So having a deal like GreedFall, I think, is a solid shout and something worthwhile to check out. But outside of that, obviously, all the other e-tailers are still running pretty good deals. There's always opportunities to find good deals, but from Steam directly, it is gonna be a little bit more quiet. But I think GreedFall and A Space for the Unbound, both standout titles right now, especially GreedFall for $3.49. Space for the Unbound, that being $9.99 is a little bit on the pricier side, but still a solid shout if you do want to cry playing a video game. So there you go with that. A lot of great deals, links in the description box below, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace out. Hey, what's going on, guys? Mush here again. Hope you enjoyed the video. As you guys might know, YouTube's notification system is sometimes a little bit wonky, even if you're subscribed to the channel. Maybe you're not abundantly aware that I uploaded a video. To remedy that situation, make sure you hit the bell notification button. This way, whenever I upload a new video, and I try to upload as consistently as possible, you will be notified directly of the upload, and you can watch it as soon as it goes live. I would really appreciate if you guys hit that button so you can stay up to date with all of the content I'm posting. But as always, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.